The reason for this video is because I need to verbalize some stuff I've been holding in for a long time. I'm not sure if I'm going to make this public, but this is more just for me to do what I need to do. I've had a really rough time this year. And haven't been able to get a lot of this stuff off my chest because the people I thought, or more specifically a person I had in my life that I thought was going to be my support, I just found out, for whatever reason, has been lying to me. And even when I've been blatantly asking for specific questions, they've been giving me lies. And even though I still love this person to death, I also am having a hard time not hating them right now. So, really, this is just, like I said, this is just me venting. And also, just have something out there so that, if I'm not saying I'm going to do anything, or I'm planning on doing anything, but the current situation I am in right now, I am all alone. So, as far as I know, something could happen tomorrow or next week, and nobody will know that I'm even here or where I was. My mother passed away in April. She went to the hospital middle of March. I am the only child of a single parent. And even though I could afford to go and be by her bedside and take the time off, I couldn't because of the damn pandemic. So when I get the phone call letting me know that she's passed. It hurt so bad. Just, even to this day, before what just happened the last couple weeks with me and my relationship, it was racking pain. Every time I saw a picture of my mom or heard a reference to her or anything that just involved even any part of her side of the family, it hurt. It felt like somebody was stabbing me in my chest and my stomach. It hurt so bad. And because of that, I let a lot of things go. Now, I'm not, and I've admitted this to a lot of people, I am not a clean person. I mean, look, this is my truck. This is what I live in, go to sleep with. But it's better when it's usually better when I'm doing good. I'm not in my feels, I guess is the new term. But since April, it's just been hard for me to keep up. And I found out that drove a wedge in my relationship. Even though I spent the previous 2 years prior to me doing this being there for her and doing my best when she was down and everything, to be there for her, to be understanding, and to step when need be. Now, I will say this. I know 6 months is a long time to grin and bear something like that. But like I said, I was doing it for almost 3 years. Letting the lies, I'm being told I knew were lies. Just putting them away. I mean, in blatant lies. I knew better. I kept on telling her, I know more than you think, and I've seen more than I've said, but I don't think she fully gets that. But I stood by her, and not necessarily ignored him, but I just put him off to the side because of how much love I have for her. And that I knew that she needed love. Now, I'm not saying that I wasn't selfish. And I have a big cross to bear in what happened. But like I said, this has just been a really hard year for me. I feel like I have no support system with me anymore. I mean, I have family, but it's always seemed like when I've called on these people, I've been more of a burden. Or that's the reason why they do this stuff, is because, they have to, because I am family. And that has a lot to do with me. I understand that. I wasn't the best kid growing up. I wasn't the best young adult. And I'm having a hard time struggling to be an adult, period. But if this does reach anybody who I've hurt, who I've not stepped up for, or I don't know who else I could include in this, all I can say is I'm sorry. I did the best I could with what little knowledge and skills I have. And I will say this, to some of you, if you notice, if you think back, I was doing a lot better when I had positive affirmation. I was getting affirmed positively. When I wasn't being belittled, put down, or being asked, God damn it, why? I don't know what to say right now. I really don't know what else to say right now. I have love for a lot of people in my life. Well, first I need to start. I'm saying this because I don't want anybody to get scared. If somebody sees this, I don't want them calling me, getting scared for me, calling whoever. I don't mean harm on myself or anybody else. I'm just struggling right now. And I know that with time, this will all get better. I've always had to do stuff by myself throughout my life. I'm not getting into a whole lot of details about why that is, but all this means now is that I've got the rest of my life to do this by myself. And it's a very daunting task for me. I mean, I have to, it's a lot of stuff. I got health issues. You know, I guess I technically have been ignoring, but I, I was kind of excusing it because that money needed to go elsewhere to help, help my family. You're with someone off and on for 7 years and spend 4 years, battling it out to make it work. That's family. And I can't afford my medicine, can't afford this, can't afford that, because I know she needs this, the kids need that, the house needs this, dog need that, whatever. Cars need gas, brakes need to be replaced, tires need to be fixed. I spent the last 7 years in a relationship with someone whom I have loved for 20 years. And I am very grateful not only to her, but to God for that opportunity to experience that. And I really do hope that someday we could both be better people for each other. She has my complaints. That's the reason why I'm not there. I have mine, but I don't vocalize them because that's just who I am. But maybe from here on out, or if just we do have an opportunity to do this again, I will be a little more vocal in it. Whether it makes the situation uncomfortable or not. Or is that saying, to thyself be true? I don't think I've been true to myself for a couple years. I'm sorry for this being rambly, but I just, like I said, I gotta get this stuff off my chest. I've been, especially this last week, helping her move out of that house and pretty much not having any help with the last of the heavy lifting. Having to do that all by myself, and her just going skirt, coming back. Oh yeah, I need this, skirt. Go off to run off for mom, and skirt going off, run off doing this. It's just. But again, I'm used to doing stuff. I got used to doing stuff by myself. So. But where was I? Oh, yeah, I mean, I really do hope that we both can find ourselves, and hopefully in doing that, sometime down the line, rediscover each other. Babe, I did the best I can. And I knew, especially the last couple months, that I wasn't being good enough. And I wasn't stepping like I was before, where we were barely getting by. But I also thought you understood, because you told me you were understanding that I'm coming into the hard part of the year for me. This is the part of the year where I miss the family that I grew up with the most. And those memories I had. This has been something I've been dealing with this time of year. For 14 years. When my uncle passed, that first Thanksgiving holiday season was hard for me because I was used to having him there. And then a couple years later, when my grandfather passed. And then a couple years after that, when my grandmother passed, and now my mom's gone. This is a very hard time of year for me, because this is the only time of year growing up when my whole family was together in one home, under one roof, having one meal. If you stick around for this long, I appreciate you. I just checked before I started this video. I have one whole viewer on YouTube, so I really appreciate you, whoever you are. I don't know who you are. Again, I need to reiterate, I will be fine. And the instances I was referring to are not things I'm planning on doing on my own or my own fruition. I work a job where as soon as I start my truck, I could die from whatever. Something could explode. Somebody could hit me. I could blow out a tire and hit a wall. Whatever it is. I've seen the videos, read the stories. Literally. And especially with the unrest that's been happening this last year, and some of that targeting truckers, it's really scary. Luckily, most of the places I go, I know where I'm going, and there's usually none of that stuff happening, but there's still a chance. You know, go down the road and accidentally cut somebody off, and all of a sudden here comes a bullet through my window. You know, this is scary stuff. We're living in a scary world. And I hate to be a Debbie Downer right now, because that really isn't me. I love being able to find something good. And that's probably one of my biggest downfalls, is I always try to find what's good. Find the light in the darkness. Yes, we're being kicked out of the house, but you know what? Whatever place we find from here on is going to be a better place. Yes, I broke up with my girlfriend, but you know what? Maybe it's time for me to concentrate on myself. Yeah, my mother passed away, but you know what? She spent the last several years in pain, barely being able to walk. So you know what? She's up wherever. I love you, Mom. But she's up there now, paid free. My grandfather's got all of his memories back. My grandmother's probably up there with him holding his hand, and they're probably dancing. And my uncle's up there, probably wiring the house. That when God calls down and says, "John, it's your time to come home," he's probably wiring that house that's being set up for me right now. Thank you.